Shine. I am your host, Jeremy DeMechant, and today we have another special guest. Now, Laura Posey, and I'm going to use the mic again, the fancy voice. Laura Posey is an internationally recognized speaker, author, and consultant. She's known as the Simple Planning Specialist for her unique ability to simply and easily laser focus her clients to get dramatic results. Her simple strategic plan is used by over 2,500 companies, from startups to the Fortune 100. She's the author of How to Plan Your Entire Year on One Sheet of Paper and co-author with Jack Canfield of Mastering the Art of Success. Laura is a graduate of SUNY at Buffalo and holds an MBA from Virginia Commonwealth University. She is fluent in German and is currently working on her Spanish. When not on stage or with a client, you can find her traveling the world, playing golf, practicing the fiddle, or snuggling with her rescue mutt, George, at home in Richmond, Virginia. Now, Laura, thank you so much for being here on Sales Team Rescue. And today is a little different day because you're not home. You kind of got caught up in your travels, right? So
I did, yeah.
Where you are.
So I am currently in Sydney, Australia. I live in Richmond, Virginia, but I came over here to visit and came to visit for a month, and been here an extra month, and it looks like I'm going to be here another month. So my 30-day vacation turned into 90 at least.
Well, you know what? I mean, you're safe, right? So
yeah, exactly. It's really safe here. Really low incidence of infection and deaths, and so I hate that we even have to talk about that, but yeah, I'm safe, and I thought of getting on an airplane right now just doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, you might as well just let yourself, enjoy it, except for like people like me who will bug you about jumping on interviews and
it's all good. Other than the time zones, life is good.
What time is it there for you right now?
It is 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 in the morning. All right. So we are getting a very inspired Laura. But I'm really excited though, and I appreciate you being here because you have got so much knowledge that I think is going to be so powerful for our audience. So before we get into all my digging, tell us a little bit about what got you to where you're at now.
So I actually came out of sales. My first sales job was selling Cutco knives. And then I sold cars, and then I got a job as an insurance agent. And my last real job was managing an $80 million district for Nationwide Insurance as a regional sales manager. And I left that job because they did something completely stupid and capped our commissions.
Oh.
And so it's like, guys are going to stop paying me. I'm going to stop working. So jumped out of corporate to start a sales training business. And over time, as I was doing sales training and working with sales teams, I realized that I would go into these companies and I'd ask them, like, what are you trying to, how much do you want to grow this year? Like, what are your goals? And they'd go, we're going to go 20%. Say, okay, great. Why? Like, why 20? And they're like, well, I don't know. It sounds like a good number. So, well, what are you ultimately trying to get to? I don't know. Like, well, it's the old Cheshire Cat saying, right? If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there.
Right.
And so I was like, God, these people really don't know what they're doing. And then at the same time in my own business, I realized I couldn't answer those questions. And so I started created a strategic plan for myself, a one-page plan. And it just revolutionized my business. And so I took it back out. And, now you do when you create something new, you take it out and you start, you find clients who don't know they're guinea pigs.
Right.
Like, let me see if this works. And let me see if I do this with somebody else and it'll work. And so I started doing that, and it just revolutionized everything. And so I actually don't do any sales training anymore. All I do is the strategic planning, and I have a team of people that I refer out to for all of my sales team development and sales training.
I love it. So this one-page plan that you helped put together. So in my mind, and before I got to know you, like I thought, how on earth is this going to work? Because we're trained to have these huge business plans or binders that start with a vision statement and go for another 70 pages. But then they just end up on the shelf.
Exactly.
Right? The rest of the team never sees them. So tell me a little bit about why that one-page business plan. First of all, how to help people get their mind around how it can work and why it's so powerful.
Yeah, so I think part of the power of the one page is, I mean, it's simple, right? You've got this one sheet of paper that you're staring at every day that's reinforcing what you're working towards, how you're going to get there. And so it's the why, the what, and the how, all on that single sheet of paper. And anybody can handle a single sheet of paper. If I were at my desk, I would show you mine. It's in the front of a binder. The binder has all my daily success checklists in it, but it sits there in front of me every day, and that focus is so powerful. I think the other thing that makes the one page plan so powerful is that it forces constraint. So everything has to fit on that one sheet of paper, and you can't change the font. Can't just like make it smaller.
Right.
And so it forces you to decide what is really important. What am I really going to commit to? So for example, we let our companies set 4 goals for the year.
Okay.
That's it. And what we find is that most folks will like, oh, I want to do these 6 things. Like, great. You can do the other 2 when you get the first 4 done. But you've got to pick the 4 that you're going to go for. And they have to be aligned. They can't be like, I want to make twice as much money and work half as much time. Okay, really? Really? Let's think about this. We can get you to both of those things, but not simultaneously. And so as it really makes you decide what is truly important. What do I really care about? And all the rest of it has to go on what we call a not now list.
Okay. Just taking notes here because I'm learning just like everybody else watching and listening. So no, I love this because the old saying, like, if you have more than one priority, it's not a priority, like, right?
Right.
And so I love this because you're forcing, and I know for me, I've got all these ideas all the time, and to get me to focus, it takes me to literally pay someone to say focus.
Right.
And so
yeah,
I'm the guy that has the list of 15 things that I want to accomplish before the end of the week,
yeah,
at the end of the year, and
yeah.
it's ridiculous. They never get done. And maybe one of them gets done, kinda, right? And so I completely see the value here. Now, for people that are watching and listening, if they're looking to start or grow their sales team, how would this apply to them?
Yeah. So interestingly, we use this. One of the first big companies I used it in, the first place we took it was to their national sales team. And so the power of this plan is that you can use it at the company level, right? And so the company has their plan, and then each of the different business units can have their own plans as well. And so within a sales team, if you're looking to build or grow a sales team, those are the things that are part of that are what go on the plan. So one of the things that we look at is when we're putting a plan together is obviously you're going to have some goals. Like, what are the big things that we want to achieve? And a goal is an end result, right? It's a milestone that you want to get to on the path to your vision, right? So, let's say you want to grow your division to $1 million. I'm just making stuff up. And with 10 salespeople, I don't know, it seems really ridiculously low. How about $10 million with 10 salespeople? And you're starting at 0, right? So for this year, maybe you want to get to, you want to hire your first 2 salespeople and get to, $1 million with them, right? And so those are your goals. And then from those goals, there's 2 things that have to happen to achieve goals. One are what we call activities, and the others are projects. So the activities are the things that you have to do day in and day out. The things that repeat every single week, right? So like, it could be like the number of calls, the number of new leads, number of sales appointments, those types of things, right? So those go in your plan, and those are things that you set metrics for every single week. So these are our minimum standards every single week of things that we have to do. And then you have your projects, which are they're projects. They're things that you do that have a defined beginning and an end, and they're the changes that have to happen in your business in order to get you to your goals. You know, because assuming your goals are bigger than last year, if all you relied on was activities, you just have to work harder, right? You just have to do more. And I don't know anybody who wants to do that. So we have to create some change in the organization, and the projects are the change. So in that instance, your change, one of your projects would be to hire salesperson A. All right. And so hiring a person is a project, not a goal. And so within that project, there are tasks, right? You've got to, create your job description. You got to have a comp plan, right? And so each of those things then gets broken down into smaller pieces. The rule with tasks under a project is that each task can take no longer than 30 minutes. Because if it takes longer than 30 minutes, it won't get done.
I like that.
Your brain will look at it on your task list and go, oh, I don't have time for that. Right? Or if you just write down a task that says create a compensation plan, your brain's like, well, shit, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. So it'll go, oh, Facebook. I know how to do Facebook, right? The super dirty secret of your brain is that it's a complete dopamine junkie, right? It needs hits all the time, and it gets it through novelty and completion. And so when you look at your task list, if your brain doesn't see completion immediately, if it doesn't see where it's going to get some dopamine really fast, change the task, right? So so on this one page, we'll go back to the one page. I'm obsessed with dopamine. On this one page, so you'll have your activities. This is stuff we got to do to keep the wheels going. And then here's the changes that we have to make. So, hire person A, hire person B. And you can even take those are really big projects. So you could even chunk those down and say, okay, if I'm looking out over my year, I know I'm going to hire a couple of people. So I'm going to create a compensation plan, a project. Right? Because I know I'm going to need that over and over and over again. And then I'm going to do hire person A, hire person B. And I'm going to put those down in my projects, and I'm going to decide in which quarter I'm going to get those projects done. And so as we map this out, when you're looking at it, okay, these are my metrics. I got to hit these things every single week, right? Because those are in service of these goals, and I'm reminding myself of my goal. I'm reminding myself of my vision of where I really want to go. And then I'm looking at this quarter and going, I got to get these projects done, right? These projects are the things that I've got to get broken down into those tasks. And then those are the things that I'm working on throughout the week to really get moving forward. So like the create a compensation plan, my first task for that might be Google common sales compensation plans. Like that's a really good task because it starts with a verb. We all know Google is a verb now.
Right.
And your brain can see yourself Googling common sales compensation plans, right? Like you can picture it. And so your brain looks at that on a task list and says, oh, hell yeah, I know how to do that. And it'll get done.
Right. 10 seconds, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then the next task is like, choose 3 to evaluate. And then the next task is choose one of the 3.
Gotcha.
And your brain can look at that and go like, yeah, babe, got that done.
Yeah, I love that. Because I know I every day I look at a task list and go, what?
Right,
because
exactly,
I have these great intentions. And I like to say that future Jeremy hates past Jeremy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, future Jeremy can handle this.
Yeah.
And future Jeremy starts cursing at past Jeremy. So I think understanding and acknowledging and having a plan that is built around the idea that our brain qualifies our ability to finish something based on how difficult we feel it is. Which
there's 4 reasons tasks don't get done. I actually put them together in a video. People can go, I think I've got it somewhere. Shoot me an email, I'll send it to you.
Awesome.
but yeah, you have to structure the tasks properly if they're going to get done. And that's why most people, I did a whole video on it called the procrastination cure. And we don't procrastinate because we don't have any willpower. We're not disciplined. It has nothing to do with that. It's purely chemical, right? Our brains need dopamine. We're all dopamine junkies, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And we get shots of dopamine by like going to Facebook, right? What's going on there? Or checking your inbox, right? Or getting up and walking around talking to somebody, right? We need novelty or completion. Or we'll look at our task list and we'll find all that dumb piddly crap that doesn't really need to be done. Mm-hmm. But our brain looks at it and goes, oh, I could get that done. Like I could check that off. I feel good. But it never gets to the big important stuff.
That's huge.
And so when you structure the tasks properly, right? They have to be the right length. They have to be super clear. They have to be important. Your brain has to look at it and give a crap. And I'll think of the fourth one in a minute because it's 4:00 in the morning. Yeah. And so when you write the tasks the right way, right? Instead of saying research compensation plans, right? Your brain's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not going to the library, right? Research is like, it's like, I have no visual for research, right? But if I say Google and I write the term down, my brain looks at that and goes, I can do that, man. Boom. And it happens. And then you got to tell it, like, what's the next step? Okay, I'm going to Google this. What am I looking for? What am I trying to get out of this? Like, I'm going to choose 3 of the 10 that I find. And then I'm going to, and then somebody will write a task like evaluate. And it's like, well, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
Right? So like, what am I going to evaluate on it? Well, then I got to think about, okay, well, what are my criteria? Like, can I afford it? Does it look reasonable? Would I work for that plan? Right. So you just have to think through what it looks like and create the tasks in that way, and then they'll all get done. And you'll just be like a super productivity machine.
Love it. Like it's so interesting because this conversation, these are very simple things that have such a big impact. Like my mind's going, oh my gosh, this is what I've been missing for myself getting things done, because productivity in my world is something that I always continue to work on. And by that, I mean, keep, chastising myself for not getting things done. But I like everything you're saying is bang on. And so when you tie this into this one-page success plan, I can see the power. Now, for those of you that are watching live or watching the video, on the bottom of the screen, you've seen this little ticker going across, which is a link to a gift that Laura wanted to give to everyone. And it is simplesuccessplans.com/daily. Now, Laura, tell us about this checklist kit.
Yeah, so this is our daily success checklist. And this is ultimately what that one-page strategic plan boils down into. So on the daily success checklist, there's 3 columns. The first column are your success habits. And these are the things that you do every day that tee you up for success. And it's different for everybody, right? It could be exercising, it could be meditating, it could be playing with your dog, right? It could be going for a walk, it could be reading something inspirational, absolutely anything. But you want to create these habits that you do every day that tee you up to be mentally and physically and spiritually healthy, so you can be functional in the rest of your day. The center column is the stuff I got to get done. So there's a place to write down your key 3 things that you're going to do. And those come from your project task list, right? So those changes that have to happen in your business are getting done every single day, because you just go into the task list and pull in, here's the next 3 things to do. And I'm going to get those done before I tackle anything else. In a perfect world, you'll get them done before you check email. Because remember, each one takes less than 30 minutes. Right. So even if you have 3 for the whole day, that's 90 minutes. If you just do the first 90 minutes of your day that way, then it doesn't matter what happens the rest of the day. You've gotten the big important stuff done. Right. And then there's a place to jot down other things. And then the final column is the reflection column. And this is where at the end of the day, you step back and you go, okay, what did I do? Right? What did I learn? What am I going to do differently tomorrow, if anything? Where did I make the most progress? And so it's just a series of questions to get you to reflect on how you did that day. And at the bottom, there's a place for some gratitude. And so we have our clients use this every single day. Like I said, if I were at home, I'd show you my binder. I print them out. I'm old school. There's a fillable version that you can use online, or the printable one. I just print out a bunch of them, stick them in a binder. And so on the front of the binder, I have my one-page plan. And then I flip it open and there's my daily success checklist for the day.
Love it.
And yeah, like I said, old school.
No, and I think it's
and
great.
I was going on vacation for a month and I didn't bring it with me.
Right.
And I'm telling you, like I'm using the fillable version, which I hate. I personally hate, like having to sit and type it out.
Right.
But it's the only way I get shit done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and I can appreciate that for sure. Yeah, I'm excited. So with the daily success checklist, is there a way when somebody, so this is a free gift, yeah?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is a gift for our viewers, our listeners. Guys, be sure to check that out at simplesuccessplans.com/daily. Now, is there a way for them to get from there to the actual one-page success plan to invest in?
Absolutely. That? Yep. So I'll send them a link to that, but it's simplesuccessplans.com/strategic.
Strategic. All right. Awesome.
Yep.
So we'll make sure we update that in the notes as well. Excellent. Because I can just see the power, and full transparency, guys, I told Laura I was going to go and do this before our interview, so I could speak to it, and I just haven't gotten enough done. So it looks like I need it more than ever. So I'm going to download the checklist kit. I'm going to go and invest in the one-page success plan, and it's pretty cost effective, right?
It's $97.
$97.
Right.
To map out your whole success plan into one page so that it's manageable, it's attainable, and you get it done.
Yeah, and the whole course will take you under 3 hours. Right? I don't believe in like, let me give you a master's degree, 80 hours of blah. You'll never get it done. And this is all about getting stuff done. So I've made it as short and focused and tight as it possibly can. So it's like, look, learn this little piece, go do it. Learn this little piece, go do it. Learn this little piece, go do it. So that in under 3 hours, it's done. And we even have it set up so that all you do is you just type your answers in an online form and it shoots into our system and it gets sucked into the template. And then we email it back to you immediately. It's all automated.
Nice.
And so as soon as you hit submit, within like 30 seconds, your perfectly formatted, beautiful plan is in your inbox, ready to go.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
it. Next year when you do your planning, so it takes 3 hours the first time just because you got to learn what you're doing.
Right.
But next year when you update your plan, it'll take you about 30 minutes at the beginning of the year to update all the plan. And then it'll take you about 15 minutes a quarter.
Wow. That's
yeah.
Awesome. I would pay more to spend less time getting something done. So
yeah, I want to make it affordable for folks. I want everybody on the planet to be able to use this. Everybody's like, you should charge $500. Like, yeah, I know, but I don't. So
I mean, I appreciate it, and I think the people that are watching live, watching the replay, and listening to the podcast, I think they appreciate it as well. So we'll make sure that link gets included. That was successplans.com/strategic.
Strategic. Yep.
Awesome. Excellent. Now, before we let you go, I need to put you through the ringer on our lightning round.
Bring it.
All right. So it's very complicated. We all know that coffee's for closers. Yeah. What is your favorite kind of coffee or comparable drink?
So I love coffee, and my favorite, I'm a Sumatra gal. I love the smooth, rich Sumatran coffees.
I love it. Love it. Awesome. If you could recommend a book or a movie to someone who's looking to grow in their sales skills or growing a sales team, what would you recommend?
Yeah, so I'm going to go really off, like it's not a sales book.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Oh, tell me more about that book. Now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's a little. I'd like to say it's a little bit woo woo,
Okay.
but it's not. It's truly all science, and it's really about neurobiology and neuroplasticity. I know that sounds really complicated. It's not, um, but it's really about rewiring your brain
Mm.
to work the way you want it to work instead of the way it's been programmed by everybody else.
Huh. Very cool. I will be checking that out for sure.
Yeah.
Now, share with us someone who you consider to be a mentor in your life.
Oh, yeah. So this is another kind of weird one. I've got a friend that I've had since high school. So I was one of those weird kids in high school. I had some friends, but my best friend in high school was a teacher.
Okay.
And she was a young teacher. So she was only about 10 or 12 years older than I was when I was in high school. And I was a terrible student. I just didn't want to do the work. I didn't care. And in 10th grade, I mean, I was like a D student, and I got to 10th grade. And for some reason, we just clicked. Like we just became friends. And she asked me one day, she's like, "What are you going to do with your life? Like, you're just pissing things away." And I said, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe go to college." Or she's looking like, "Not with your grades." It's like, "I don't know. I might join the Air Force or something." And she was like, she just looked at me and she said, "You need to get your shit together." She's like, "You're too smart to be screwing around. You just figure out the system, get the grades, go to college, and do something with your life." And I mean, it was just a 2x4 to the face, right? And I had so much respect for her. And from that point on, I never got anything else but an A. Um, Took all the advanced classes. Like, I mean, it just turned things around. And we have been friends now for, geez, how old am I? Well, since high school. So we've been friends now for 30 some years. And no matter where I am, so she challenged me to get my shit together and be what I could be.
Mhm.
But she's also one of the best relationship builders and maintainers. No matter where I've been in the world, she has always tracked me down. And like when I went overseas in college, she mailed me letters. Like she's just always stuck with me and showed me the value of those long-term relationships. So Karen Belsheim, here's to you, babe.
Love it. I love it. That's awesome. And I appreciate you sharing the story as well. So the last question that I have is, what is the strangest thing you do in your daily routine that keeps you on your game?
I guess I alluded to it in my bio. It's playing the damn fiddle.
Yeah.
Um, oh my God, that's a nasty instrument. And I love it. Um, like I've played guitar in the past and I thought that was challenging because I don't have a lot of musical ability.
Mhm.
But damn, the violin is just brutal. I am like, I got no frets. Like, I don't know where to put my fingers. Now I've got this stinking bow that just, it, man, if you don't get it right, it just sounds like you're torturing a cat. So it's like, okay, now I can play out of tune and I can screech at the same time. Jesus God. But it takes such concentration for me. And I have to really just shut everything out and do things that are so unnatural
Mhm.
to me, um, that it just forces concentration, and it forces me to really suck at something and be okay with it.
Wow. I think that's a huge lesson for all of us. Where a lot of us are really, really afraid of trying something new because we don't want to go through that initial discomfort. Then
Yeah.
I say to some of my clients, like, yeah, you're going to suck the first time. Get that part over with.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's,
And just playing, people are like, I want to hear you play. I'm like, no, really, you don't. But you can't, it's not like I can't practice quietly,
right.
right? Like the violin is the violin. Like this, everybody's going to hear it. And so, it just forces you to just suck and be okay.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Well, Laura, thank you so much for being here on Sales Team Rescue. I appreciate having you, and I know our viewers and listeners do as well. Guys, Laura Posey, simplesuccessplans.com is her main website, and hit that /daily for that free download of the daily success checklist, and go to simplesuccessplans.com/strategic to invest in yourself, your future, and that one-page success plan. Laura, any last words for the audience?
Um, Same thing I say to all my clients, go sell something, man, because until you sell something, you don't have a company.
I love it. I love it, Laura. Thank you so much. Guys, again, I'm Jeremy DeMechant, your host in Sales Team Rescue. We will see you next Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Catch this episode, previous episodes, and notifications for future episodes at salesteamrescue.com. We will see you next week. Cheers, guys.